Who's helped to shape your artistic brush?
Yeah. Well, there was a defining moment when I got my iPad and I was just messing around with it. And I was like, oh, this can be real handy for reading comics on it as well. And I was always into comics when I was younger. I discovered an artist called Noah Van Sciver, who's very different to me. He does more like, he has diary comics. He has Fante Bukowski, which is kind of a fiction of like a failed writer. It's more comedy. But I just immediately fell in love with his work. Kind of really loose drawings with amazing color palettes. And like that was one of the times I was like, oh, you don't need to be a perfect artist to do comics. And in a way, sometimes the faults make it even better. I kind of look at it like back in the 70s when the Sex Pistols were around and people realized, oh, you don't need to be doing guitar solos and stuff to make music. And then like their first concert leading to like the Clash and all coming around, realizing that like when something's raw, it can have its own soul to it. It doesn't need to be polished.
Absolutely.
And that kind of like, especially when I was beginning and my art was like very raw, would probably be a polite word to use for it. It kind of motivated you to keep going because you knew like within those faults, there was still like a beauty to it. And then of course there's other cartoonists, more like Joe Sacco, who does his journalism, and Guy de la Sille, I'm probably pronouncing his second name wrong, but they've had more journalist approaches, which also appealed to me as well. So I kind of from then started devouring a lot more alternative comics.
Just going back to what you said, it's really profound, and I completely agree. And I think most people would, where the less produced something is, or feels at least, the perception of something having lots of layers of varnish, right? You're going to always, I think, attract people to what it is, because finding truth and discovering truth is a commodity, is a rare commodity these days. Perhaps it's always been like that. But at the same time, there's something, kind of rich and noble and true about something that is unvarnished or isn't perfect. You know, some of the lines don't they're not perfectly geometric, or maybe the guitar solo isn't as amazing as it could be, or whatever the case may be. But I agree. There's something to that for sure.
Yeah, it's human, like, because it's just the little faults just show, like, I think that's just part of being human, and being able to see that reflected in art is kind of comforting, I think.